Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day. So far, Crimsix has continued to go rogue over the last 24 hours or so. A couple of days ago, we discussed what he thought may well have been voted in for that third game mode. He comes out to confirm it last night, but the CDL straight up denied this was ever a possibility. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button, it's the best thing you can do. Top this channel recently, people, and please do subscribe as well if you have not yet already. Loads more drama like this, I imagine, coming in the new year. Firstly, this from Zero I thought was kind of interesting. Just went on a 20 kill streak, he reckons, in Pro 8, and Sky's end of the game. I am fuming. Kind of cool in the first place that Pro 8 might actually be being played, because, I mean, Scump was discussing it yesterday. We looked at a clip when he was saying, look, OpTic might not be streaming their practice anymore going into the new year. He said that, like, look, if there's Pro 8s going on, he might well be playing in those. But, you know, it doesn't really seem like they've happened the last year or so. Thankfully, it seems Pro 8s are at least on the go to some degree with some of these players. With the Zero actually went on a 20 streak, I'd like to see a clip of it come out. Could chuck it at the end of the video or something, but I didn't actually, it didn't seem to appear. But you know, Sky's end of the game, unlucky stuff. I guess he was going for that V2 rocket or whatever the nuke is called in this particular game. But well, of course, we looked at this earlier today where Hex kind of talking about the lack of developer support in the competitive scene and the frustrations on that side. And Crimsix was playing some Warzone, and someone in the call says, yo, like Hex called out Activision and all these guys pretty big time on the podcast that of course we looked at earlier today. And then Crimsix goes on to kind of go into more detail on the topic that we discussed a few days ago with regard to what that third game mode could have potentially been. Now, the way Crimsix was describing it, he didn't make it incredibly clear what he was thinking, but he basically said that, look, for whatever reason, the people who weren't the pro players, that the pros had no decision-making here at all, no decision-making power on what the third game mode was going to be. But some people up high, you'd imagine working for the CDL, the Crimsix has at times called pretty clueless on these issues, were making the call as to what the third game mode was going to be. It now has been confirmed it's going to be Control. Whether that even works for competitive, who knows, right? But there was some rumors coming up that Crimsix was kind of starting and initiating that they might have even been considering Warzone or something along those lines as the third game mode. Now, how would that even work? I don't know. But Crimsix basically goes on to confirm it right here. So he's been playing a fair bit of Warzone the last few days, and well, I'll share the couple of clips that came out from him last night on this front. Firstly, this one from the initial video as well, Crone goes on to explain Warzone was one vote away from being the third game mode for the CDL, according to Crimsix. So, you know, so we can say that someone in the background says, again, a big OpTic X, he was going pretty rogue, and Crim goes on to kind of go into more detail on this topic we discussed a couple of days ago of, yes, apparently the CDL was considering Warzone as the third game mode for the league. Hardpoint, S&D, Warzone, Hardpoint, S&D. I don't even know how that would work, but I'll share the clip. But then, well, a response comes out from Spinner Spence over at the league. We'll have a look at it in a second, and Crim kind of responds to that saying, look, why would I make this stuff up? Either I'm getting trolled, or, you know, he's just straight up lying.
Damn, Hex roasted the out of the league and Activision developers.
Wait, who did?
The big OpTic X.
Rush to the safe zone. You got gas closing in.
Oh, this is gonna be great to go airfield and Arsenal.
Yeah, you guys want to know why? Because there's one vote away from playing Warzone on map 3.
What?
Yo, give me
Oh, I mean, run a commercial! Run a commercial! I'm actually not even kidding.
Holy.
We got mother deciding on map 3 that haven't even picked up a controller, dude. The last time they played was an arcade game in Red Robin, dude. In 1974, dude. Like, you guys think I'm kidding? I'm actually being dead grass serious. Spencer's texting me right now. I just told him what I heard, and he hasn't texted me back. But he is the Spinner Spence. Hey, if I was wrong, hey, I will admit it. But that was not the story that was told to me. And to me, it's just so ridiculous. Like how can I make that up? How can I make that up? Why would I make that up? You know? Unless someone is like literally like an elite level troll, they trolled the shit out of me, right? If that's the case, then like 100, then I'm wrong 100%. But until I figure out
So I wonder if any of the other pros have really heard about this, right? Because the Slasher says, he comes back with a thumbs up, the classic Slasher thumbs up emoji, right? That this might even have been a possibility, right? Now, well, as we'll look at it in just a second, the CDL denied this was actually the case. And it seems kind of crazy that this would even be a possibility, right? I'm not sure how this would even work. Like, would it even be possible that, you know, Warzone could come in as the third mode? Like, how would they do it, right? In terms of the 4v4 pro teams, would it last way too long? Like, I don't really understand exactly how that's going to be working from a competitive perspective. But even not from just a competitive perspective, but, you know, logistically as well, how do you make that work? So, you know, maybe it could have happened. It's tough to say, but you know, maybe a possibility that Crimsix apparently heard about. We'll talk about where he heard about it from in just a couple of seconds, but no other pros have really talked about this. So I think that, well, the question was there, like, what's the third game mode going to be? And well, Crimsix reckons that some people maybe at the CDL were saying it was going to be Warzone, but well, apparently the CDL doesn't believe that's going to be the case. Spinner sent over player relations at the Call of Duty League. He says, unfortunately, this is not a true statement. So, you know, the unfortunately is kind of a weird part of the sentence, but he basically says, Crimsix, yeah, this isn't true. Like, I don't know where you got this stuff from, mate, but, you know, straight up fake news. Now, Crimsix in that clip we just looked at says, you know, Spencer, like, yeah, why would I lie about this stuff? I obviously heard this. I'm either getting trolled from up high, like, someone in this call was completely making this stuff up, because, you know, at the end of the day, I wouldn't put it past some of the CDL guys to actually consider this as an option, because, Crim went on to say, like, well, later on, that, or at least a few days ago, I'm pretty sure he said it, that, like, they didn't have a vote in this, right? The pro players had no voting rights in terms of how this was going to go. It was just being decided up above them, and then they were kind of given what that was going to be, which is also crazy in itself, right? Surely you allow the CDL players kind of their thought process on what third game mode they want to play, but apparently that wasn't the case, and this is being decided elsewhere and kind of given to the pro players. That's why I guess it was one vote away, you could argue, because obviously if the pros voting on this, no one would be voting for Warzone, they'd be voting for, you know, Control or whatever that might be as the third mode. Now, you know, Crim comes in the reply to this one, so he's not necessarily so convinced that, you know, Spencer's right on this issue, that, you know, denying it from the CDL side, whether that is the case or not. And this actually went on to be explained on the Reddit here, that Slasher said in Methods chat, I didn't exactly have a clip of this, but, well, that it was brought up in a call with the league. So apparently, this might be where, well, Crimsix initially got it from, that there was some sort of call with the league where it was discussed, what if Warzone is going to be the third game mode? Now, you know, whether Crimsix, exactly how Crimsix has got from that to it being like one vote away from Warzone being the third game mode, that is another question in its entirety. But kind of incredible stuff, no doubt. Like, even if this is true, right, obviously the CDL's denying it, no other pros outside of Crim have really come out and said this is absolutely 100% guaranteed true, but Slasher did kind of indicate it may well be the case. Thankfully, I guess that's not the case going forwards, but it does make you wonder, right, like, you know, how is this league going to be functioning going forwards? Because even this season, in terms of the format for it, I'm pretty sure there's one event, which is like a Warzone tournament type thing, where maybe some Warzone pros, some influencers, I'm not really sure what they're planning to do there, but they're really integrating right now Warzone into competitive COD, which is understandable, but still, it doesn't necessarily paint the greatest picture for the, well, the greatest competitive future for the regular CDL multiplayer type stuff. But I thought it was spicy regardless from the Crimsix side. Wanted to mention this as well, because yesterday we discussed, okay, like what's going on in the Halo scene. These are a few of the things that have happened over these last several days. I thought I'd mention for you guys, if you guys want to pause it. One of the big ones here really was 100 Thieves, potentially going into HGS in year 2, right? I'm sure 100 Thieves want to get into Halo, but right now all of the good pro teams assigned to good pro organizations, right? 100 Thieves, probably not the greatest time for them to come in, but definitely an opportunity there to happen in the future. Of course, they can use their own 100 Thieves branding as well, right? Which of course wasn't their case in Call of Duty, but LA Thieves, I suppose, was close enough at the end of the day. These are the Lion Man cards from the Sentinels team, so formally on the bottom left-hand side. Of course, well, pretty fantastic final map he had against the OpTic team that, well, spurred them to success in that entire series. I mean, Snakebite was actually a mod here as well, and Frosty for sure had his moments, and yeah, Lethal didn't have the greatest one, but you know, these guys will bounce back with Royal 2 back from, well, Fort Anaheim in February. Formula will need a new team. Not sure where that's going to be. I'll try and keep you guys updated on that front. This also I thought was kind of interesting from Clayster though, because lots of talk right now, especially in the upper echelons of a normal Halo multiplayer, that well, that an anti-cheat is required, because it seems right now in Halo, cheaters can be all over the place. It's well, obviously you can detect them, to be honest, but this has been a problem in Call of Duty for quite a while. Halo, I guess, need to get on top of this if they want to maintain that advantage over time, because without a battle royale, are people going to continue to play Halo in the long term if the game is ravaged with cheaters? That's a question that a lot of the professional scene is having at the present time. This also I wanted to mention from icy. You guys might know him as a former Gears of War player, officially retiring yesterday. So yeah, this guy's been around for quite some time on the OpTic team, but previously as well. Over the years, I got to travel elsewhere. This is just how it goes really with these esports, it seems. Call of Duty is like a mainstay, even though it might not be in the greatest spot right now. It seems to be a mainstay of at least well, Controller esports. Gears, Halo, they're always up and down over the years. And icy's out of Gears, and he's actually going to go and try and compete in Halo going forwards. As he says, as for my future, I'll be trying to pursue Halo, going to be grinding and doing everything I can in order to create create an opportunity for myself. Similar to Mental Right, considered one of the greatest Gears of War players ever, if not the greatest. He came to Call of Duty last year on Los Angeles Guerrillas, didn't have the greatest time. Now I believe he's trying to go over and compete in Halo, as many others are, and understandably so. I just wanted to mention this as well, what I thought was pretty good from Standy. Can't wait to get back into the Bacage mix. Also been thinking about possibly making vlogs and here and there for the YouTube channel, make insights on, insight on Path to Pro, videos on that type of stuff, daily life for COD Pro, cool type of content stuff. So would be cool to see, because I think guys like Standy and Drazah and these type of players, they're going to be critical for the for the personalities that are going to carry the scene in future seasons, and just good to see content like this potentially making an appearance in the new year. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit in a like button, tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, I just like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
That hit me?
Your team scoring.
Shots here in that AR.
Stronghold Alpha lost. Stronghold Charlie is ours. Ammo reserves depleted. Killing spree. Triple kill. Stronghold Alpha is ours. Perfect. Active camo inbound. Double kill.
Bottom mid one, I think.
What's good, boy? Yo, I'm playing chess, man. Come on.